Hey friend, I'm Trinity Mitchell, better known as your friend Trin, and welcome to this episode of Friend Fusion. Friend, did you grow up in a dysfunctional household? Are you struggling with parenting because you grew up in a dysfunctional household? Are you trying to navigate the complexities of showing up as the perfect mom or the perfect dad, which will never happen, but you're also realizing that some of the things that I'm starting to see is a pattern. I'm starting to be like the mom I didn't want to be like. Well, I'm doing things that I saw my dad do that I didn't necessarily enjoy or take pleasure in, and now I'm seeing it show up in my parenting, and I want to be better. This episode of Friend Fusion is for you. Today we're going to heal. Today we're going to discuss even the broken things, because you know what? There's a God who wants to make us whole. Stay tuned for this episode of Friend Fusion.
Friend Fusion. Marker and action.
Hey friends, I'm Trinity Mitchell, better known as your friend Trin, and welcome to this episode of Friend Fusion. I know so many of my friends, just like me, have grown up in dysfunctional households, and we're trying to figure out, how do we parent differently? While I had the greatest mom in the world, she did all the things that she knew to do to make sure that I became a productive, compassionate human. However, there are some things that I find in my parenting where I'm like, where can I improve? What can I do differently so that this does not continue on to BJ? And I wanted to have a conversation with my friend and our new friend, Kobe Campbell, to help us all become the parents that we may not have had, but we still can produce the whole child, because we're working on becoming a healed version of ourselves. So welcome with me to the set of Friend Fusion, Kobe Campbell. Say hey, friend.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I feel so honored to have you here.
I'm honored to be here.
I've been watching your content for I don't know, it's probably like 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then last year I saw you at Woman Evolve. You were sitting like 2 rows in front of me, and I was like, oh, she is just as pretty as she is online.
Oh my God, stop
it's her. Because well, I don't want to sound mean, but sometimes social media, we don't look how because all the things. So it's always great to see people just them. Like your heart was the same. You don't even probably remember hugging me, but I came to hug you. Like, hey, stranger, bye, stranger, stranger danger,
stranger danger. Except I don't have that. That's why we have strangers.
But in the last, I don't know, maybe it was 6 months or so ago, I just decided I'm ready to have a conversation with Kobe, because I just love the work that you're doing and all the things, and I'm so glad that we've been able to make it happen.
Yes, me too.
Look at God, look what he'll do.
Listen, brought us right together through the interwebs.
Yes. So I'm so glad that I know how to pronounce your name now.
Yes.
Because I was going around, Kobe.
I got that. I was like, oh, she got the real pronunciation.
Where did I get that from? Did I hear somebody else pronounce it wrong? Do people say that?
Yeah, well, honestly, that it's a whole thing, but I kind of go by it just because I'm like, I get tired of correcting people. Okay. And I'm like, let's talk about what we want to talk about. Call me whatever you want. It's about the information. You know?
Hilarious. Yeah. But I love Kobe. I think it's beautiful, and I want everybody to know how it's pronounced, because that's what friends do. We need to know your name.
Thank you. That means a lot. It's a good reminder to be okay with correcting people.
Yeah.
And letting them learn how to say it.
Because it's my name.
Yeah.
Don't call me Trina. I'm Trinity.
Just has someone call you Trina?
They always call me Trina. I DM'd somebody yesterday, right? And they DM'd me back. They DM'd me. I DM'd them back. They said, hey, Trina. And I know my name say Trinity on that doggone thing.
We got to get the literacy rates
Yeah, we're going to work on it.
We got to.
We're going to work on it. Let's talk about, I want to hop right into our conversation, right?
Let's do it.
I'll start with your journey as a parent.
Yeah.
What are some things some patterns that you realize that you may have inherited, that you decided, let me pivot a little bit to see how I can better navigate this portion of my parenting and to see my children produce something differently?
Yeah, I think one of the things I wanted to do differently, my parents were great, but I think that they weren't very curious because they didn't have the time to be curious, right? So I don't think it was like just like a character flaw, but I started asking myself, why does my kid struggle with this? Why does my kid respond like this? And I realized that I wanted him to just do what I told you to do. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? I told you one, just do what I told you to do. Why is that so hard? And yet I realized as I got more and more curious, like Kyle and I have talked about this before, but our oldest son has ADHD. And so he's a ball of energy, so much fun. So when I tell people not only does he have ADHD, he's gifted. And so a lot of people think gifted is like, oh, you're just smart, but gifted is like literally they're cognitively ahead of their years. So he was 3-4 years old asking us questions like, why did God create me? You know, if Jesus is God, why can't we see him? Or, just asking these big questions. And we were like, how do we respond to that? And I think for a little bit, we were just kind of like, do what we said. We kind of replicated what our parents said. Do what we said or else. And then I realized like, we have to get curious about our kid, about how he was made. Like God's the one who made him. He's going to help us understand who he is so we can be resourced for what's in front of us instead of trying to make our kid respond in the way that we think a kid should respond to an adult.
Like stay in the child's place. Yeah. Did you ever hear that growing up?
Oh my gosh, all the time.
Yeah.
Be quiet.
And I think that came with curiosity too, because sometimes stay in a child's place, that would be said to you when you had questions. You know what I mean? You just wanted to understand. Or stay out of grown folks' business. And now that we're adults, we're like, the grown folks' business was childish mess. They could have just told us.
They could have just told us. And it complicates things when a kid can sense something, but they don't have the information to understand it. So, and that doesn't mean a kid needs to know everything. Sometimes we tell our son, we say, like, son, you understand the words we're saying, but you don't understand the context, okay? And sometimes we'll also say, you're not old enough to know the real answer to that. We don't want to lie to you, but you're not old enough to understand the real answer. So we'll talk about, you can ask us when you get a little bit older. Like having to let him know your curiosity is not a bad thing, because curiosity.
But there's boundaries?
There's boundaries. There's boundaries. We're going to treat you in a way that is congruent with your developmental age. Like there's some information you cannot handle right now. And that's okay. So I think that we're learning to say, we're going to meet you where you are. And also, I think a lot of parents need to understand developmental stages. There are certain things kids are learning at certain times. Between 4 and 6, kids are learning like, okay, I have some control, but not all control, right? But if you shut down the idea that they have some control, when they're in situations where they could be abused, are they gonna speak up? No. If someone does something wrong, are they gonna say something? No. So we need to nurture the nuance of what kids need to learn. And that requires more of us than it does of them. But sometimes we want to put the burden of parenting on kids. Hurry up and meet my needs. I'm going to scream at you, but you can't scream back. In what world do you think that a 3-year-old can demonstrate emotional restraint in a way that a 35-year-old can't? If you're so frustrated that you're screaming, why do you think a 3-year-old could do something that you couldn't do? So teaching our kids, like, you have responsibilities that are congruent with your age and your ability, but I'm the model of where I hope you grow into. So I have to demonstrate restraint. This is why, like, it's controversial for some people. For me and my husband, we don't hit our kids, right? Like, I'll say when our oldest was like around 2, we used to like pop him in the hand, say, don't do that. And we thought, if we explain to him, then da-da-da. But you want to know what he learned? When he went to daycare, he started finding kids that he was older than. And he started popping them when they didn't listen to him.
He said, pop, pop.
No, literally, he'd be like, no, you stop, and learning that, like, no, we have to teach him that there's something other than physical control that can persuade you to trust somebody. We got to have trust beyond fear and pain. And a lot of us, as soon as our parents couldn't inflict fear or pain on us, the relationships dissolved.
Wow.
Because what's keeping me tethered to you other than the fear of you hurting me or you taking something away from me? There's got to be love and trust. And so we're trying to nurture that.
And lots of communication.
Lots of communication. More communication than more communication than I want to have. Like, that's what teaching is. There is a responsibility to teach children and not just to raise them. And I think a lot of us want to just do what I said, get to the next stage of life because I'm I understand it, overwhelmed, right? But having to teach our son how to navigate the world, not just teaching him now to not do something in the moment, but teaching him what to do with the urge that comes up. You might want to scream at somebody. Now, you can't raise your voice or you can't put your hands on them, but that urge is something that you can't control. Now, what do you do with that? You got to teach them what to do, right? We can deflect. Let's go read a book. Let's go on a walk. Let's go jump. Let's go work out. Let's go, figuring out other ways to metabolize the emotions that they don't yet have control over.
You mentioned that you and Kyle have chosen not to physically correct or discipline your children, right? And I commend you. Thanks. I don't know yet because I don't know what kind of mom I'm going to be because BJ is 16 months. He's recently started confidently walking. And Brandon doesn't like when I say it because I'm going to just put my husband out there. Brandon is of the belief, and he's not by himself, I know, which is why I'm having this question come to mind, that you have to be a little bit different with boys, right? And so I'm not sure that I want to hit him. Because, look, I'll just share this with you. His temperament doesn't give that. I'm a little pop-up mom. I'm sure I'm a pop-up mama. Like, you're not going to do that because you're not, especially if he thinks that's okay or something. So in that regard, but I'm talking about the belt whoopings and Well, this is my child. If my child come near this table right now in the stage that he's in, he's very curious, of course. He's, but I can say no, he turns and goes the other way. I pay attention to things like that. He trusts me. And even though he's curious, he may come back to it to see if I'm gonna let my guard down. I say no. He'll go back the other way. That is me, because I do not play them games. If you tell me that it's gonna burn, I trust you.
I don't want to learn from my own experience. I learn from yours.
But I know we'll actually experience some things when we tell him no and he just does it. But I can already tell he's going to have really good communication skills. We're going to be able to communicate, and he's going to be able to understand a lot of things. And, I'm old school, so I believe in home training.
For sure. Absolutely.
Literally.
Absolutely.
We're going to do home training, so you know how to act when you go in the world. We go to restaurants. We go to church. We go to places with him so that he can know and adapt to different environments, know how to do that, But what do you say to the parent who's but that's a boy, because you guys have 2 boys.
We have 2 boys.
What do you say to the parent who may be on the fence and the other parent is see, I'm getting counseling right now. Ain't this funny? And the other parent is well, that's a boy, so it's just different. You know what I mean?
I think that one, we have to remember, we're just looking at studies. Spanking changes the chemistry of the brain.
This episode is great, right, friend? I know. Join me for more episodes just like this one in my Patreon community. That's patreon.com/yourfriendtrend. I cannot wait to connect with you in real time.
It wires the brain to be more sensitive to situations related to pain. It also decreases people's ability to process and metabolize emotions, right? And I think that, not to, come for the men's, but I think a lot of men act like all they got was spankings.
Wow.
No one taught you how to use your words. No one taught you how to develop understanding of your emotions so that you could communicate that effectively without putting your paws on somebody. No one taught you how to process things without punching a hole in the wall. No one taught you how to feel important or firm without raising your voice, right? And so I think for us, we want to teach. I think that for us, we're also learning it's okay if me and him have different parenting styles. It's okay, the foundation is aligned, but he may talk to the boys in a much more firm tone than I do.
Absolutely.
Because that's just not congruent with who I am, right? And I'm their mom, he's their dad, right? But I think that we have to remember that boys need affection too. They need the what we would call the soft skills of life. They need that. They need to, they absolutely need to know. I love that my husband, when them kids act up, he'd be like, all right, everyone's up. Everyone's up because they be waking up 3, 4 in the morning. Everyone's up, grab a trash bag, we're going to the playroom. Let's start picking up the toys, putting them in the trash bag. Like, there are different ways to show consequences other than inflicting physical harm. And I think that we're also learning that our boys now 2 years ago, they were swinging from the chandeliers. Okay? But now they have such emotional regulation, ability to regulate their emotions because we've taught them how to use the words. Mommy, I don't like you. Our kids will say that. Mommy, I don't like you. Why would you do that? That hurt me. That made me really mad. I don't like when you say that. Sometimes I wish you're not my mommy.
Wow.
Now, old school parents would be like, if you don't get up, you know, like we're trying to teach our kids it's okay to express your emotions. And we don't just let them talk crazy to us. But what we found is sometimes you need to get something out first before we correct what you're saying. Because I need
to know what you're thinking.
What you're thinking.
Yeah.
And one thing we've taught our kids as we've been discipling them and leading them is like, okay, what are the foundational things we want to teach our kids about the faith? The number one thing we want to teach our kids is repentance. I can't control where you're going to go, what you're going to do, but I want to give you the skills from a child to change your mind and say, I'm not doing that no more, right? So they'll say, I hate you, and I'll be upset. I'll let him finish, and I'll say, I hear that you're really angry at me. Yeah, I'm really angry at you. I was like, okay, well, you go cool off, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. He'll come back. I won't even tell him to come back. Like, you come here and talk. He'll come back and say, Mommy, I'm sorry. You're such a good mommy. I was just mad that you took my toy. Why did I take your toy? Because I wasn't listening. Why weren't you listening? Because I didn't want to. I understand that. But when you don't want to do things you have to do, there's consequences. That was a consequence.
Yeah.
Okay, Mommy. And then we'll have another conversation that, like, those are really heavy words. Like, our sons, I hate this, I hate that. And something my husband always says is, you don't know what hate is. You're too young to know what hate is.
Yeah.
Right? So teaching them other words. We'll say, you can't say, I hate, you can say, Mommy, I'm mad at you. Let's practice that. Say it.
Yeah.
Mommy, I'm mad at you. Yeah, that's okay for you to say. That's okay. So we are letting them express their emotions and then returning to them when their mind can actually absorb the information.
It's good.
Right? Because when your mind is activated, you can't learn new information in a way that the brain can consolidate it, which means turn it into short-term memory. Take short-term memory, turn to long-term memory. Your brain can't do that when you're upset. So we wait till they've calmed down and then we teach them face-to-face because you need to learn how to keep your cool out there.
Right.
And sometimes we think that simply beating our kids into submission is teaching them the wisdom of how to navigate hard encounters. And we're not giving them that. Because every time you make someone suppress their emotions, it's a guarantee that the level of suppression that they've experienced is going to be congruent with the level of blow up when it comes up. You make them suppress their emotions their entire childhood, they're going to grow up to an adult and blow up. Emotions have to be metabolized.
And we've watched it happen so many times. Multiple celebrities for sure. Celebrity kids who, we've watched it in our families. Yeah, for sure.
Yep, you can't. One of the things I tell my clients is you cannot skip developmental stages. You can only delay them. If you didn't get to be a 5-year-old, you're going to show up as a 5-year-old somewhere.
Wow.
So we need to meet the needs of that 5-year-old in this private, safe, confidential space right here when it's me and you, so that you don't go out there and show your wife, your kids, your job, that 5-year-old when you feel out of control.
The most recent book I've been reading is The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. Have you gotten into it yet?
Not yet.
Well, there's a study in that book that she releases. I forgot what university or study it is that she got it from. But anyway, most adults are only 8 years old emotionally.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I really believe it.
It's crazy. And I literally started to think about in what area of my life do I act 8? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I'm somebody's mama. And this study is saying this about us. So, like, where do I need to? I'm trying to find an 8-year-old.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now it's 2 kids. Like, why don't you just do what I said?
Yeah,
And when they talk back, they'll be like, why don't you just do what I said?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And learning to, I think that we forget that the parenting puts a heavier burden on the parent. The heavy burden is not meant to be on the child. Now, the child has a burden to carry of learning, of obedience, of connection, of responsiveness. Absolutely. But the heavy bag, that's us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What's something you vowed you'd never do as a parent, but caught yourself doing anyway? What did that moment teach you?
Woo! Why are you all over my business? I know this is hard to believe as a Christian therapist. I cursed at my child one time.
What'd you say, girl?
Ooh, I can't say that on the screen.
Don't say the word. Cause let me tell you one thing about me. I've been telling everybody I'm trying to stop cussing. It's not a bad thing.
No. It was, for me, it was a moment where I felt completely out of control. There were so many things happening, and then my kid did something, and I was shocked myself, like to the point that I started crying. I lost it. And I screamed, "What the F word?" And I was shocked it came out of my mouth. I was like, I think maybe he was 4. And I just, like, the shame, the guilt, the oh my gosh. And the shame and the guilt's only compounded when you are a Christian in public spaces, also a therapist, helping people heal. And it was one of those moments where when I met with my therapist and talked about it, she was like, you had no more resources in that moment for regulation. And it was really one of those moments, like, I think he may have taken off his seatbelt while I was driving on the highway or something like that, and I like lost it. But I had to learn how to forgive myself. And learning how to forgive, when you accept as a parent that you will mess up, especially in ways that you never anticipated, you learn the value of forgiveness for your child. Because I'm like, man, I have to, and also I asked him. I said, Mommy used a really bad word with you. I should have never, ever said that word. I should have never raised my voice in that way. I explained to him why I was feeling that way. I didn't give him the adult explanation, but I said, Mommy was scared, Mommy was overwhelmed, Mommy was angry. I used those words, it was not okay. And I said, will you forgive me? And I let him know, we'd already had a previous conversation about how just because someone asks for forgiveness does not mean you have to give it immediately. Make sure it's something you're actually giving to them and not just like a, my bad, it's okay. You know, that like think about it. It's okay to think about it. And whereas Christians, we forgive, but also think about it. Make sure you're actually giving them forgiveness and not just the words, and then you go away stirred up and angry for however long. And you know what he said? He said, Mommy, that really hurt my feelings. And he said, I have to think about it. Do you know what it's like to be at the mercy of a child?
Yeah.
And it made me think, I bet this is how he feels when he messes up. Because then I was like, oh my gosh, like he came back later and told me I was a good mommy and it's okay, I was angry and he forgave me. But it was a reminder that what you sow into your children, they will give back to you.
Yes.
They're like, we've told him, we've explained grace, we've explained mercy, we've talked to him about forgiveness. And one thing I can say is we've forgiven our children so much that they know how to forgive. Like one thing we call it starting over.
I love that.
Levi, at any moment when you're doing something you are not supposed to do, just come to mommy and daddy and tell us, I want to start over. And everything you did before that day, wiped clean. We'll pretend like it never happened. He's like, really? Sometimes he'd be like, I don't want to brush my teeth. And he'll see a look in my eye. He'll say, Mommy, can we start over?
Yeah, let's start over.
Can we start over? Can we start over? Can we start?
That's hilarious.
And mostly, yeah, let's start over.
Yeah.
I'll give him a kiss, and then I will act like, and it's hard for me sometimes, because sometimes I've already gotten up there of like, I told you, you know, and having to learn to say, he's asking for a second chance.
Yeah.
My kid's not going to understand a second chance, giving a second chance or getting a second chance in relationships.
Yeah.
He's not going to understand giving or getting a second chance in Christ.
Absolutely.
Unless I demonstrate that for him.
Yeah.
So I might need to go cool off for a second and be like, Kyle, do you know what this boy just did?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But then go back out there and treat him as if he hasn't done those things.
Yeah. So I think my issue with cussing is that I don't think it's a bad thing. And I say that honestly because I that's just me. But I also don't feel like it's necessary.
Yeah.
Okay, there's so many more words
To use, yeah.
Yeah, right. So I tend to say a lot of old people cuss words. I don't use the F words. That's a young people cuss word. The F
Is
word.
it?
Yeah, young people.
Give
Old
me an
people,
old person.
you know,
Help me understand what that means.
sit your grass down. I'm one of them. That. What else?
Do you really say grass?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's interesting.
Let me see.
Creative.
Well, yam. I tell you, I'll be talking about something. I say, well, yam. You know, and then I could be just talking about something or whatever, and I'll say,
I'm really like, wow, what did she say?
you know, or I could just be talking. I'd be like, oh, skit. Or I drop some skit.
Yeah.
And girl, let me tell you, I was at a church working.
No.
Come back.
No. Cut the cameras. Cut the cameras.
Girl, I was a part of this play, and we had to run. And I had on a boot, and I tripped and fell.
No, you didn't.
Girl, I said, skit. That's what I said. I got to stop this.
Oh, Lord.
I got to break this.
She said, I got to repent.
And the funny thing is, I did not grow up around profanity.
Yeah.
My dad cursed.
Yeah.
And I picked that thing on up.
She's snatching
But he was so in and out. It's crazy how I picked up the worst thing.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't picked up.
Word.
Yeah, but seriously.
Wow.
He wasn't even around like that, but I picked up the worst. My mama, she never used profanity with us, like, ever. In fact, my mama is so funny. I just share this moment with y'all so y'all can laugh. When I was an adult a few years ago, she told me she cussed somebody out. I said, girl, what you say? I told them to go to hell. Girl, I said, girl, get off my phone. I thought you had did something. Girl, you ain't did nothing, girl. What you talking about? But that's how, like, she does not curse. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, long story made short, I'm in a place right now where I'm trying to be very mindful because it's like, it is that easy. Like, I'm just talking to you. I'm like, what's skit? Let me get this. Well, you know, like, I really want to be better. And so, I'm working on that because I don't want BJ at school. Like, you remember that viral video where she was like, what rhymes with this? And the baby said, skits. You remember that?
I do remember that.
I don't want it to be BJ.
Well, I feel like, I'm telling you, parenthood has discipled me in a way that I truly believe no person could.
Yeah.
Because your kids will pick up everything. Everything. And so for me, it's, you know, I gotta be in absolute danger for a word to slip out of my mouth.
Yeah.
But I try not to. You know, I try not to. And the one time you might even say, like, you know, what's the trend? What the hell? What the helly?
Yeah.
Don't let me be scrolling and the sound comes up. What's that?
Yes.
What's that, Mom?
Yes.
What's that?
That's
so
how
just
kids
learning to create a bubble around my child, and meaning that I have to be in that bubble too. So here we go watching Bluey.
Yeah. And that's okay. Yeah. Kids don't need to be exposed to absolutely everything. We don't even need to be exposed to everything.
Yes.
That's a whole nother thing. But.
You really just touch on a whole point. I think a lot of us are trying to adultify our kids because adulthood was the only place we felt safe. So we think the only way you can survive the world safely is if you embody the qualities of an adult. Yeah. But actually putting the qualities of an adult on a child brain actually strains them and harms them in a way that impairs their ability to be a real adult.
That's good.
That's why people who deal with a lot of responsibility in childhood can end up resenting responsibility in adulthood, running away from what it means to be in a meaningful partnership, running away from what it means to be in a friendship where you communicate, because your whole life you're waiting for a time to return back to being a child. Yeah. So let them be kids when it's time for them to be kids.
You just unpacked all of my 20s. My husband done suffered in the brain. I'm sorry, brain. Man, that suffered. Like, whoa. Because I had a lot of responsibility. So I would run away from everything. Because I just want to retreat. Like, I need to, you know? Yeah. It's so crazy that you said that. Because so many people watching are kids like me. Oh, yeah. You know, like, they've carried a lot of responsibility. And it shows up it shows up in their relationships as aggression or avoidance. Wow. Or enmeshment. Like, I think about people in friendships who, if I had to show up like an adult or like a parent as a child, I might be drawn to you in friendship because I realize you're really good at taking the lead. So I'm going to be friends with you. We go on a trip, you figure out where to eat. Because I'm not required to do anything.
Right. And then they can resent that and be like, oh, you're not being a good friend to me. And it's like, no, I'm engaging in a friendship that requires two adults. And you want to engage in a friendship that requires an adult and a child because you're trying to redeem some of your past experiences through our relationship.
Codependency.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that.
The codependency, that enmeshment, that I need you to show up for me. And I think I've dealt with this a lot when it comes to the work I do in my therapy. No, you're all good. When there are people, I've had to teach them the level of friendship you want actually isn't healthy. Because like this, you're putting the burden of the way your parent didn't show up on this person.
Yeah.
And you want them, you don't even realize, but you want them to mother you because your mom didn't show up for you. Right? And so you need them to be the strong friend who never has feelings because a kid's not responsible for their parents' feelings.
Yeah.
So here you are in this friendship, and when you're going through it, you need them to be attentive and attuned. But when they're going through it, you're annoyed and frustrated. That's the perspective of a child. Right? And so teaching them what it means to show up in a friendship with two adults who have equity and equal responsibility in the relationship, and not just like, you're the friend who does everything for me, girl.
Yeah.
Like, you're the friend who celebrates me. If you don't celebrate me in the way that I need to, okay, I'm going off script, but
go ahead.
I have this thought. I've talked to several clients about this in the last couple of years, birthdays, and I know you've talked about this before. Birthdays. I had to. Now,
we were just talking about this yesterday. How many DMs I get about the friendship breakups that start over a birthday?
Oh Lord! Yeah, Lord. Wait. Tell me your position first. Let me say mine first, so you don't judge me. I've had to walk several women over the years in therapy through the idea that birthdays in adulthood directly correlated to the ways that their parents didn't celebrate them as children, and because your parent never gave you the birthday of your dreams, you are trying to redeem what birthdays should have meant for you, for your friends. But the issue is your friends are not solely responsible for celebrating you. And I had to ask a client a hard question. If no one celebrated your birthday, how would you celebrate it? And there was no plan. And I was like, okay, so you're expecting someone to do something for you that you wouldn't even do for yourself. That's a hard, and it wasn't out of judgment at all. It was really out of helping her realize it's good, it's beautiful to want people to celebrate you and to let them celebrate you. Because some of us have people who want to celebrate us and we refuse that love. It's good to have someone who wants to celebrate you and you let them celebrate you. And also, if no one celebrates you, do you even celebrate yourself? And so having to teach her, and it helped her be less anxious around birthdays. Because it was like, who is coming? Who's getting me what? How much does it cost? And having to teach that person, it is okay. Your friend might get you a thoughtful card and you don't know what's going on in their life. They might not be able to get you a Louis bag. No shade. Can you get yourself a Louis bag? Okay, if you can't, could you imagine someone having the expectation?
And expecting, nothing wrong with having a friend who can do that for you. I think that's beautiful if your friend does it for you. But requiring that from your friend is crazy. Require that from your man, not your friend. Something wrong with me. Because no, I wouldn't ask my friend to get me something like that. I wouldn't even expect that from my friend. And the expectations I have for my husband are not the expectations I have for my friends.
Absolutely. And
that's the whole thing too. Okay.
That's a whole nother podcast. I think that some people are, I don't think many women realize that they're looking for the qualities of a romantic partnership in platonic friendships.
And they're very different.
They are different. There's a reason why
there
they have
are
different
similarities.
Names. Yeah, for sure. There's absolutely a Venn diagram where there's overlapping. And I truly believe that you can have friendships that are lifelong, David and Jonathan, that's my covenant for. I absolutely believe that. But I think that some people are looking for the same person in a different season over and over again. And if we really went back to it, it goes back to childhood.
Yeah. See, I'm a big birthday celebration type of girly, but my birthdays were always a big deal in my childhood.
Yeah.
But I don't require. My mama was really heavy on appreciation and heavy on people don't have to do anything for you. So if people do anything for you, you should be. My friend laughs at me saying, she said, "You always saying you're grateful," because I really am I don't know, this is just how I was raised. I'm grateful. I'm really really grateful to have my friend to bring me a card, to have my friend to see me, to like whatever. Like I'm just grateful. Like I really, because I realize they don't have to do anything for me. On the other side of that, I realize that a lot of people were not raised like that, where they feel entitled to other people's things, their empathy, their effort, they just feel entitled to it, to things. And I think that spirit of entitlement, that whole issue there ruins a lot of our friendships, because rather than me just allowing you to celebrate me how you can celebrate me, how you can celebrate me, you know, for my birthday, I require you to celebrate me in this way. So that means if you don't go on my birthday trip, we're not friends. Girl, I may not even be, I just told somebody, so you want me to spend $5,000 on your trip, what am I spend on mine? We regular people, and y'all don't get off this internet. Get off this internet. I don't care what Young Miami and them doing. Get off this internet and stop. We're regular people. Like, chill. You know?
And you have no clue the things that people are dealing with. I think that's so true. The line between entitlement and gratitude, and also expectation. It's normal to have expectations, but expectations need to be discussed. You know, I will tell a friend like, hey, I'm so sorry, I won't be able to make your birthday dinner, but I still want to take you out to dinner. Send me a date. I want to celebrate you. But I also think that part of that is sometimes we feel entitled to people's information, even our friends' information.
I've been working on that.
Like, you don't to be a good friend, you don't have to tell everyone everything. And it's not hiding, it's not withholding, it's not being funny. It's just simple wisdom. And even like tying this back to our like parenting, I'm trying to raise kids that know how to manage their selves, so that when they grow up, they're not constantly looking for someone else to be the core source of how they deal with their emotions. Relationships are so important, so important. God designed us to be in community. And you cannot only see yourself through the lens of community, or else your identity is going to ebb and flow as your community ebbs and flows. So we want you to learn how to really connect with people in a way that doesn't just see them as a resource for your own wounds, but sees them as a person to connect with.
And I love, you brought a thought to mind when it comes to children, also teaching them that they don't always have to apologize for not being able to do something, when they don't have to feel compelled to overshare in a connection. Because we do, like we feel like we need to, you know, over-explain all the things. And some things do require an explanation depending on the depth of our relationship, right? But at the same time, I think a lot of times we put that pressure on ourselves so that we don't lose people. But the people who are really for you are for you, and you don't have to overextend, overshare, all of that. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, I feel like this about when it comes to friendship, and I will teach this to BJ. If a requirement for me to be in connection with you is for you to know all of my business, then we won't have a connection. We just will not have one. I don't believe it or not, as much as I trust my friends and they are a safe place, none of my friends are a diary. And they don't need to be. We need to learn, like, okay, this is for my therapist. You know what I mean? Because that's how we get into, you know, wanting people to show up for us as parents. You know?
Literally. I tell you everything, and now it's your job, figure it out for me. Come back with the answer, and then I'll just do what you say.
Absolutely.
You know?
What was missing in your own childhood that you now prioritize for your children? Has it felt natural, or like swimming against the current?
Affirmation.
Love that.
Affirmation. I think that I was a wild, boisterous child, but in many ways I was excellent and did not always hear that. I look back and I thought I was really good at what I did. I was a
that
really
girl.
good You know what I'm saying? You said it on me. But I think that I didn't get a lot of affirmation from my parents. And to be honest, giving that affirmation to my kids now for a while, I think until they were like 2 or 3, it felt a little, good job, you listen, you're supposed to do that. You know, like I wouldn't say that to them, but that was kind of like my mindset. And I think that I learned how to enjoy letting them know. Just being around, the work that I do, I hear a lot of tragedy. A lot of heartbreak, a lot of loss. And just saying, if this was the last day I get with my kid, what would they think I thought about them?
That's good. That's so good.
And just always making sure that like my kids, no matter how they make me feel moment to moment, situation to situation, I tell them you're a great kid, you're kind, you're loving, you're smart, you're funny. I love being your mom. I shower them with kisses. They pretend they don't like it, but they love it. And I take a lot of pride in the fact that our kids have so much affection that when I feel like we're building up like a bank of affection for them, that as they get older,
and that's so important for boys. Yes, love it.
What love feels like.
Yeah.
Not just connection, not just control. Love.
Yeah, it's good.
You know?
That's really good stuff. How does unresolved trauma affect the way a parent corrects their child?
Woo! Well, this is my personal belief. I believe that the Lord will give you a child that reveals to you the areas that you've decided to turn your back on. When you're an adult, you don't have to do nothing you don't want to do.
That's true.
Unless you have a kid. You know, unless you, even in marriage too, I think very similarly. That I think that unresolved trauma will make you think. There are many ways. Here's what I see commonly. Unresolved trauma will make you think your kids owe you something. Unresolved trauma will resent your kids when you see them get what you didn't get. I had a professor who did childhood development, and she said a lot of people can't work with kids because when they get on the floor and start playing with them, they start to remember that no one got on the floor and played with them. You know, when they start showing up for that kid in that way, they start to realize no one did that for me. There's a lot of grief in parenthood that a lot of people don't acknowledge. As you give your kids something that you had to develop as an adult to give to them because you didn't have a reference for it in your childhood. You know, so I think for a lot of us, we can take out our anger, our rage. Also, like, this is heavy, but it's just true of the work I've seen, I do, and I know if my other colleagues can agree. A lot of people find in children a valid place to unleash their anger. Like, what they going to, like, they're helpless. And I have all this anger. I can do whatever I want. I'm the parent.
And it's abusive.
It's abuse.
Yeah, it is.
It's abuse. It's abuse. It's emotional neglect. It deeply wounds and harms them. And so I think lots of us need to realize your kid is not the place where you get to just decide to unleash anger and never face consequences because they're a kid and they can't talk back.
Yeah.
And I'm your mom.
You know, you mentioned earlier about when you had that moment with your baby and you cursed, right? You apologized to him. So many parents don't do that.
Oh, the humility.
Yeah. So can you speak to that element and how you've seen apologizing shift or helped you guys better connect with your children?
Yes. We don't have to ask our kids to apologize. Never. With each other, yeah. When they're with we'll be like, you need to apologize.
That's the pride. Like I'm not apologizing to you, but I get it.
To us, to me and my husband, we don't have to ask our kids to apologize.
That goes back to respect too. My mama was always big on respect. She said if you respect your children, they'll respect you. So if you, whatever you do, they're gonna do. So you have to respect them if you want respect. And she apologized to us. So in my adulthood, I've really struggled with people who just try to be nice again. Like it makes me so uncomfortable. I don't like it because I was never raised, like my mama never took me to McDonald's. She didn't take me for ice cream. She apologized. She said, oh, mommy didn't get that right. I'm so sorry. Mama, sorry. Like I heard that, you know? So in my adulthood, when I experienced that with people for the first time, like, and to this day, like when I experienced that, I washed my hands with you so quick.
She said,
that's not something I'm willing to do. Like raise you is not something I'm willing to do.
And a lot of people want the results of humility without embodying humility.
That's good, friend.
You know, you have to, if you want the results of humility and intimacy, you have to embody those qualities. You can't just skip over it and be like, okay, now we cool, right? No, we have to talk about it, right? And also, one thing that I think people miss about apologizing is the humility that you show to that person by apologizing also destigmatizes what it means to be wrong. Being wrong doesn't feel scary anymore. Like it doesn't feel like it defines who I am. Now, for a lot of us, we grew up in homes that made us feel like if you were wrong, you were a bad person. So now people are afraid to apologize because they think saying that I'm wrong means that I am identifying myself as bad. But teaching my kids But when you apologize, you're letting them know you got this moment wrong. Everyone gets some moment wrong.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that's who you are. Yeah, and they'll ask a little bit, does that mean I'm a bad kid? My son's name is Makai. Does that mean I'm a bad Kai? No, it just means you got it wrong.
Yeah.
Let's go play.
It means you're human.
It means you're human.
Yeah, mistakes are gonna be normal. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love that. And I feel that even the generation before us, what do they call them? Use your therapist. Do you know?
Boomers.
Boomers. They were very strict. Like, do as I say as. Oh, sometimes it was, wait, what was it saying? My mama never used it, but I remember it.
Do as I say and not as I do.
Do as I say and not as I do. Mm-hmm. Children can't do anything they don't actually experience. Mm-hmm. So I love that you said that. Like, in order to get humility, in order to get, what was the other one? It was humility and
intimacy.
Mm-hmm. You have to first model that for children. Yeah. You have to, and it starts with admitting when you're wrong. Mm-hmm. You know, mm-hmm. and telling your kids, like, I'm going to improve on that. I'm going to do better in that area. Like, I want to do better. For the people in our generation, the millennials, mm-hmm. who have picked it up from the boomers, where we do as I say, but don't do as I do. What is your advice to them about how this actually affecting their relationship with their child?
It makes me think of a quote from my pastor, Pastor Jeffrey Gibbs. He says, anything that lasts takes time to build. And if you want relationships that last, they're going to take time to build. Mm-hmm. And that time is going to require you repenting, you apologizing, you saying I got it wrong, you asking questions, you asking someone to apologize to you, letting them know that you hurt your feelings. I think we want the end result so bad, but we don't want to go through the process. Mm-hmm. We don't want to go through the natural process of what it means to build healthy, long-lasting relationships, but we want to just get there. Mm-hmm. Just be a better friend. Yeah. Just be a better person. It's like, okay, but like that means we have to learn how to deal with conflict, mm-hmm. communication, expressing our feelings, and a relationship that lasts takes time to build.
What's the difference between overcompensating and being intentional in parenting? And how do we know when we've crossed that line?
I think we know we've crossed that line. And I'll go back and define it. I think we know we've crossed that line when we do something for our kids that they can do for themselves or have the mental capacity to learn how to do. Example, my youngest knows how to brush his teeth. Mm-hmm.
This is a struggle for you right now.
My God.
Stretch your hands this way, everybody.
I receive.
Yeah.
He takes forever. Mm-hmm. I can get his teeth brushed. If the goal is for him to simply have brushed teeth, we could do it like that. Mm-hmm. If the goal is for him to learn how to take care of himself, it's going to take longer. Mm-hmm. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean I rush him, hurry up? No, it means that I have to wake up earlier and then I have to wake you up earlier because I know it's going to take longer for you to brush your teeth, right? And I have to be okay with you making mistakes. I have to be okay with you not doing a great job, and then me taking it and saying, do you see how mommy's brushing back here? Do you feel that? Make sure you get back there. Mm-hmm. Stick out your tongue. You can't just do one scrape. Ooh, the way the breast be spelled, you gotta keep going.
Go ahead and get that. Yeah. I tell BJ, one thing people will never forget about you is your breast stain. They'll never forget how musty you are. I tell them already. They'll never forget, son. Let me brush your teeth. I had to put them across my lap and go in there, son. Yeah, like, he's so cute. That breath was bad. That's how I'm saying it even now. He doesn't believe me.
Oh, you're crazy. You are crazy in the best way. She said they'll never forget.
It's true. Think about it.
It's true.
That one really pretty friend but had bad hygiene. And you were like, you take all that time for your makeup, your clothes, and all of that, but you don't wash. Come back, know somebody. You see?
I don't.
I see it.
I don't.
And then, or that one handsome guy that tried to talk to you, as soon as he opened his mouth, you're like, woo.
Now, the men need help.
The men need a lot of help.
The men need help. They do.
They do.
Yeah.
Oh, you good. Yeah.
And he's like, don't look at me.
My husband,
you're good too.
My husband had on shorts, y'all. I be looking at the back of his knees like, He done washed behind his knees.
Even.
That's it.
Ain't nothing. Ain't no cheese building up.
Yeah, that's romantic. Ain't no plaque on his teeth. That's romantic.
It is.
Ooh, love it.
It truly is.
Smelling like soap.
Yes.
What we talking about? But you were talking about how you had to get up early.
Yeah. Brushing
for the
your
end result. Okay,
like
yeah.
overcompensating. Overcompensating will insert us into getting an end result where our kid can learn how to get the end result. Cleaning up is a big one for me. I have to let my kids learn how to clean.
That's good.
Especially as young boys. You need to learn how to clean up after yourself. Mommy, I spilled this. I'll be in the I'll just clean it up. I'll be like, nope. Go get a paper towel. He'll get one little thing like this.
Go get some more sun.
Go get 3 or 4. He'll just put it on there and do this. Walk away. No. You gotta wipe it up. You gotta wipe it up. There's still some there. Go get some more.
Yeah.
Okay, wipe it up. All right, not to drink. Is it sticky? All right, now let's go get,
some products.
That's right. Let's go get some soap, some water. Just scrub it down. But now it's wet. I guess we gotta go get some more paper towels.
Yeah.
Wipe it up.
Teach them.
Literally.
That cleaning is not for women. That is a life skill.
It's a life skill. Same
hygiene.
with food.
Good hygiene is not for women.
Yep, same with cooking. My husband loves to cook. I love that our kids naturally don't even think that cooking is a woman's job.
Exactly.
Because he loves to cook and they want to, he wants to teach them and they want to learn. We're literally showing them the skills of life. Are you interrupting their ability to learn the skills of life? Are you interrupting their ability to learn even the foundations? No, they can't cook, but they can learn how to take them eggshells and put them in the trash and go wash their hands.
And to people who have those boomer beliefs, your son not gonna be gay because he know how to wash his butt. He know how to prepare a meal and he know how to clean his room.
It's a human skill.
Y'all, let's stop.
It's a human skill.
Because he know how to tie a tie. Please.
It's a human skill.
It's a human skill. It's
learning
okay.
how to take care of themselves.
Yes,
right?
yes.
But like I think for many young girls, they are parentified and adultified. But for many boys, they're infantilized.
Ooh.
Meaning that they're kept at the age of a child.
So true.
And then told when you get married, she'll just replace the role of your mom who did everything for you. But having to say no, like you're gonna learn, you're gonna go into long-term partnership knowing how to take care of yourself.
Yes. And it helps you take care of other people.
I was about to say, the first time you learn how to cook and clean is not gonna be when your wife has a kid and you have to help out.
Oh my God.
No, you're gonna know
Sending
how to
that
cook.
poor woman through hell because he ain't got learned nothing.
I don't know what she is, but I got her back.
Yeah.
I got her back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally.
You be good, girl.
Yeah.
You be good because they have to learn life skills. We have taught them that. It's not a girl's job, a boy's job. It is life skills.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. What does it actually mean to be a safe parent?
Can your kid make mistakes in front of you? Can your kids make mistakes and believe that it doesn't change how you see them fundamentally? I think that's how I define safety. I think my kids should have a reverence, and I think my kids should know there's some things I don't want to do in front of my parents, right? One of the things we taught our kids, I don't know these words, Riz, skibbity, I don't know. He's the oldest is learning the slangs. But we've taught him as a young black boy, there's certain ways you can talk to your friends that you can't talk to us.
Yeah.
It's not about bad words or good words. You can't call me bruh. I love you. You can't call me bruh though.
Yeah.
You can, when you and your dad are playing games, he's cool with that. But when you're having a serious conversation, you can't use the word bruh. When you're talking to your friends, do as you please, right? If our kids slip up and say bruh, or if they say, mommy, I hate you, does that change how I see them as a person? No, I will literally, he'd be screaming at me, mommy, I'm so upset. I love you. You're a great kid. You're just really mad right now. The fire in their eyes, not always, but just like slowly starts to like dwindle when they realize there's nothing I could do or say that could change my mom's love for me.
Yeah. So how do you balance being emotionally available while still leading with authority?
Teaching our kids roles.
Okay.
Your job is to, and I got this from incredible Dr. Becky, your job is to feel your feelings and be honest about them. My job is to keep you safe and to develop you. I care about your feelings and I want to hear your feelings, but your feelings will not always inform my actions. Right? And when I talk to parents about this from a Christian perspective, I think about Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. He cries out and says, if this cup should pass from me, let it. He lets God know what he wants, even if God's not going to give him what he wants. Because that's what happens when you have intimacy with somebody.
That's so good.
I can tell you how I feel, even if I know it's not going to change your mind.
It's so good.
Because you care about me and not just the end result of the thing. So go ahead, tell mommy how you feel. Tell me, mommy, can we try and do this? No. Our kids, Lord, sometimes I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'm like, being a present parent like this is so taxing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't wanna hear, no, we're not going to, like, all these suggestions and thoughts and feelings.
And they swear you rich.
Ooh. Don't let, he's like, just use your card. Doesn't the card have unlimited money? No, it does not.
Yeah.
It does not have unlimited money. But teaching him, you can tell me how you feel. Your job is to be a kid. My job is to be an adult. My job is safety and development.
That's
and
good.
You cannot change my mind. I know I'm gonna resend that. You cannot always change my mind.
Okay.
That 7-year-old, sometimes he be making too much sense. Me and Kyle be like,
he make too much sense.
No, why are we doing that? We should change. We should do. You know, Levi, that was a really good contribution.
Yeah.
We're gonna pivot and we're gonna do that.
Oh, letting your kids contribute to your parenting.
He'll be like, can we, and not in like these major fundamental ways, but he'll say, well, can we go to the park before we eat? Because sometimes after I eat, my tummy hurts and I don't want to get on the swing with a full tummy. Sure. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't cost anything. Giving your kids some control that is appropriate to their age, I think actually builds more trust in the control that you have. Because they're not fighting for control. Have you ever taken everything away from somebody?
Yeah.
They grasp. Grasp. We let him make some choices. Sometimes he goes to school wearing a hoodie, a vest, and 2 different colored Crocs. It depends on the day. It's all right. You know, I thought I was gonna have the cute Zara baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The cute. And we did. He's still very cute, all the things. But we're letting him learn there are areas that you can have choices, just not all of them.
Yeah.
In the areas where the choice is exclusively ours, it's ours.
That's good.
You know?
As a Christian, how has your relationship with God challenged or reshaped how you see yourself as a parent?
The most impactful moments I've had with God are always rooted in a tenderness. When I expected God, I'm like, oh, God gonna be mad, you know? Expected wrath, judgment, anger, and I've gotten to the presence of God and been overwhelmed with like love. And I was like, I want my kids to know what that's like. You know, so like sometimes they'll be out of pocket, with a capital O, out of pocket.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, let's go get some ice cream. And I'll go hang out with them and realize that out of pocket, the resolution for their behavior was not punishment, it was connection. Like they didn't need a punishment so they could stop acting like that. He didn't have the language to communicate, I miss you. Now they do, they will literally say, Mommy, I haven't spent a lot of time with you lately.
Yeah.
Can we play Uno? Now he has the language to say that, but
That's good.
yeah.
Sometimes the answer isn't punishment, it's connection. That's good. You know, we could take that into our adulthood too right now.
Yeah.
In our relationships with our friends, coworkers,
Our
whoever.
marriages.
All the things. So yeah, because you know we try to punish people when we're offended. We don't get the things we want. Sometimes that looks like passive aggressive behavior, or us just like whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
That's so good. Sometimes the answer is connection, not punishment. Kyle, you did good.
He's somewhere back there.
That's good.
And
That's so good.
The connection will change the behavior, but now you've also changed that person's perspective of you. Do you want the quick end result, or do you want the process that'll give you much more than the end result you were seeking in the first place?
That's so good.
You know?
That's really good. Yeah. Do you think it's possible to raise emotionally and spiritually whole children without doing the healing work yourself? No. Why or why not?
No.
Okay.
I think that they have to have first-hand account. They have to have first-hand account. You know, and you have to be willing to let the principles of God be the highest guiding force in your home, beyond the dynamics of being a child and adult. Example, one time I was getting real snappy with Kyle. And I said, babe, why would you da-da-da-da? Just like a normal whatever. But I was snappy with him.
Mm-hmm.
And my oldest said, Mommy, that was really mean. Why did you talk to Daddy like that in front of us? Now, I'm already irritable, a little snappy. And Kyle almost jumped in and was like, buddy, like, this is between, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He started to, and I said, hold on, babe. Levi, you are right. And I looked at Kyle and said, babe, I'm sorry for talking to you like that. That was not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because the highest guiding principle is a sense of respect. Treat others as you want to be treated. Love your neighbors as you love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to humble myself to the fact that my kid saw me embody something that did not reflect the principles I'm trying to teach him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I want him to embody those principles, I need him to know that I'm submitted to something bigger than my own word.
That's good. That's so good.
You know?
Mm-hmm. So good. Where do you think the church has gotten it right and gotten it wrong when it comes to guiding parents?
I think the church has gotten it right when it comes to holding fast to the culture you have in your home when it comes to taking your kids to church. Mm-hmm. I think that's been actually right. Mm-hmm. You can make a decision when you're out of the house, but like, I think that keeping specific rhythms, spiritual rhythms for your kids, even when they don't in the moment want to, I think that's really good. Mm-hmm. I think that the church has missed overall discipline. Mm-hmm. Discipline. I think that we've put a lot of fear in parents, that if your kids make mistakes that they'll become bad people forever and immediately go to hell. And so we have abstained from giving our kids the tenderness they need to feel safe enough with us, mm-hmm. to come to us as we hope one day they'll come to God. Mm-hmm. They don't have a reference for that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times kids, as they grow up, I know for me at least, pull away from a relationship with God because they're terrified God will respond to them the way their parents did, which was to beat them, to berate them, to make fun of them, and then to treat them differently from that point on.
That's why a lot of people feel like they have to get it right before they come to God. Mm-hmm. That's so true.
Yep.
I got to get right first. They don't think about they can get right with him.
No, you forget that the only way you can get right is through him.
Is through him, yeah.
Like, you can't. You need him to get right. Mm-hmm. And so you're trying and failing and trying and failing and trying and failing, and you're not coming into the presence of God, believing that you could still be as loved when you make a mistake as you are when you're successful in Christ.
Mm-hmm. That's so good.
That. Yeah.
I want to speak to the element of forgiving your parents so that you can be the whole and healed parent you need to be for your children. Mm. What is something that you had to forgive your parents for so that you could show up whole and healed?
Not saying I love you. I knew, I was smart enough to deduce. My parents loved me. They immigrated from a different country. They worked harder than anyone I've ever seen work. They gave me a life that was incredible, mm-hmm. right? But I didn't have them look me in the eye and say, I love you. Mm-hmm. And I talked to my mom about it. Mm-hmm. As I got older, because when I went to therapy and I look back, I realized I was so desperate to hear those words that I got into relationships I never should have gotten to. Mm-hmm. I entertained people I never should entertain because I just wanted to know without a shadow of a doubt that I was loved. Mm-hmm. Not just the love where I have to do something, but the love where I want to.
Yeah.
I'm compelled to. Mm-hmm. There's something about you. And I forgave them for that because I got to know more about them as people.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I think, too, sometimes we can hold resentment toward our parents because we don't understand why they are how they are. But the more you understand why they are how they are, you just, Mm-hmm.
There's a grace you can develop.
Yes, grace. Yeah, mm-hmm. you start to have more grace for them. Yeah.
And that doesn't mean everything is excusable. But, man, I realized how nitpicky I was about my childhood the more I became a parent. Mm-hmm.
Finding grace.
Not me being mad I went to Disney World twice in a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I'm over here trying to take my kids to Disney World, and I'm like, golly, they pay for it twice in 1 year. I was doing 2 sports in school, 2 sports, travel leagues.
Yeah.
My parents did incredible with me. And they had no reference for even the idea that saying I love you is important because they never heard it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They say it now all the time.
So now it's changing with you. That's beautiful. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think we forget that sometimes the thing that we want is for us to actually create. You know,
Absolutely.
the thing that you desire, it is your job to create it, to do it, to cultivate it, to make it normal, you know?
Yeah.
And I think for me, even in my family, like we were so dysfunctional, like I said. My mama, she would not express herself because she had this thing where she doesn't want to say anything that will hurt you, or because she's like, you could stain your child like for life.
Yeah, like that fear.
Fear. So she would rather walk away than like deal with things. So I still consider that dysfunctional. I get it.
No, it is.
But it is some, you know, dysfunctional. And then my dad I was in and out. So like dysfunctional. So I developed this passion for a relationship.
Yeah.
Healthy connection and relationship. And it's so funny to see how my childhood is manifesting in my adult life as a little girl who's always been in dysfunction, carried on into my friendships, you know, all the things. And now I teach from a place of failure because I'm like, you know, this is how we can connect. This is how we do better. This is how we love. This is how we actually love. And so just because you didn't have it does not mean you can't create it. You can't produce it. And I think sometimes because we didn't have that experience where I was in 2 sports, I went on vacation twice a year, you feel like you cannot actually create it, but you can because even, I don't mean to preach, but you can develop good things from a place of deficit.
Yeah.
You know, I just can relate this to fitness. You know, like you lose weight when you go into a deficit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So your goal, the things that you want to achieve, sometimes they come from your deficit.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. That's good. That's good, Lord. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's good.
It is. And sometimes your ability to learn something intricately comes from how intricately you are affected by the absence of it. You know, like I was really affected by unhealthy relationships. I don't want to just know how healthy relationships are developed. I want to learn how to teach other people.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all the work that you do.
Thank you.
I keep hearing in my spirit today that I'm supposed to keep talking about forgiving. And so what will you leave with the parent watching who is struggling to forgive their mom or their dad or their grandmother or that adult that raised them, abused them in some way, but now they have children?
It probably seems easy or simple to first focus on them, but start with forgiving yourself. When you get to experience in a visceral, experiential, undeniable way forgiveness, it is so much easier to offer it to the people you know you're called to forgive. Because when you give people stuff that you first haven't experienced, you'll end up resenting them. You know? If you haven't eaten in a long time and the only food you have you give to someone else, you're gonna watch them eat it and you're gonna resent them. Start with forgiving yourself. What are the things that you've done? Like you asked me, what are the things you've done that you have not been proud of? What are the ways that you want to not hold yourself to the thing that you've done, but rather give yourself opportunity to embody something else? Start with you, and then get curious, like we were talking about before, about someone else's experience, because so that you can genuinely forgive them and not just say it to make other people feel good. Get curious. Ask God to give you a heart of compassion and a lens of mercy.
Yeah. So good. They say children are our greatest teachers. So what's your baby's names?
Levi and Makai.
Okay, Makai and Levi. What have they taught you in terms of parenting?
If you love someone, that true love truly never goes away, you know? I feel like my kids have taught me, no matter what I do, they just love me. They'll be mad at me, they just love me. They love to be around me, they love to spend time with me. And also that it's okay to move on. They'll be mad at me in the next moment, they're like, Mommy, I love you, wanna come play?
It's okay to move on.
What? And that has taught me so much in my friendships, my relationships. Like, I don't have to hold on to this anger all day. Sometimes when you start down the path of anger, you kind of feel like, I guess I gotta be angry today, you know? And it's like, no, actually, I can decide in any moment to change my mind.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Well, thank you so much, Kobe. I
Thank you
really
for having
appreciate
me.
you for being here.
Thank you
For giving me therapy today, helping me with my marriage, my parenting, me. This has been amazing. And I know that everybody
Yes.
watching too has also accepted you as their friend. Before I go, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
What is your most recent lesson about friendship?
Ooh, my most recent lesson about friendship. Use the time you have. My husband's taught me that. I haven't caught up with that person in a while because I just don't have the time. He's like, if you have 5 minutes, give that friend the 5 minutes. If you have 10, give them the 10. If you have 2, give them the 2. You know, don't wait until you have enough time to show up perfectly. Show up with the time that you have.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you all have enjoyed this episode of Friend Fusion. Whatever you do this week, remember to friend. And remember, just because it may be a deficit that you had in your childhood, it does not mean that God's grace isn't sufficient for you, right? You can walk this path and you don't have to walk it alone. God is with you, He is for you, and He's in it with you. I love you. I'll see you back on the next episode of Friend Fusion.